Oh, shit. I'm gonna wait for you to join. If anybody is around. It's early, in it. It's early on Sunday. So probably gonna be all alone. Probably nobody's gonna join me. And then I'm gonna feel sad. Oh. And there I thought I'm gonna be all sad, all alone. Nobody's gonna join me. What's up, a friend, or what's up, Pigstream? Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyways, so still very sick. It's gross. So I'm gonna be blowing my nose once in a while. Hopefully I don't fall asleep. But if I am, I have my bed ready. Right there. Oh, now you're gonna think that's where I sleep every night. No, just when I'm sick. So, here's the premise of this thing. I thought I might as well use this time that I'm sick. Oh, let me sit on something fluffy. I thought I'd use it to learn a thing that I've always been terrible at. Absolutely dog shit. I have many talents. Graphics design is definitely an anti-talent of mine. Now throughout the years, because I know how to use Photoshop relatively well, and because I was just like put in situations where I had to do some graphic design for reasons, like when I studied industrial design, I had to do like semi-beautiful presentations and shit like that. Always failed, always terrible, absolutely terrible at it. But I got a little better in the last, I guess, maybe 10 years. I got a little better at it, but I'm still really shit. And relatively good graphic design is kind of 50% of whether or not your video is going to be watched on YouTube, right? So, not that I'm like a YouTuber genius, but this is definitely one skill that probably should learn at some point. Don't know if it's possible though. I'm really shit at it. But I'm gonna make another effort at it. This is a video by... Hold on, let me grab it. I guess like that. And Vatotuts Plus Graphic Design Basics free course. And yeah, I guess we're gonna watch it. I don't even know if it's good. I don't even know if I can implement. I have it in me to implement anything that I have to learn to teach me. But we're gonna sorry. But we're gonna try. I'm gonna try get better at thumbnailing, I guess. And the next time somebody's like, you gotta do some graphic design. And I will go, why the fuck me? I'm terrible at it. But they're like, no, you're better than us. And I'll be like, you don't have evidence for that. But, I don't know, maybe it will be better. I don't know. Right. Let's stop the music and play the video, I guess. I don't know. Should I pause it every how much time should I pause it so that they don't like nuke me or something? No idea. Let's
So
start.
you want to be a graphic designer?
No, but I want to be slightly better at it. Okay. Okay.
Join me in this graphic design basics course and learn everything you need to know to get you started. My name is Laura Kyung and I have been a professional graphic designer for 15 years and creating
That's awesome. Oh, there's nobody watching. That's all right.
design courses for Tuts Plus since 2018. Graphic design is a creation of visual content with a communication purpose. This is what makes design design and not art. Graphic designers use a mix of visual elements
Like, how on earth would someone
and not art. Graphic designers
come up with any of that stuff? That's so cool. This thing is so pretty.
use a mix of visual elements like images and typography, logos, and complex page layouts to communicate
Oh, and you're not a nobody, but it showed up like that there are 0 concurrent views.
ideas. Graphic design is important because aside
I mean, Friendo, if you're still around, you are a graphic designer, aren't you? Why aren't you teaching me how to be less of a dumbass in this? It's such an important skill for YouTubers, and I'm so shit at it. Oh, you're not. What did I remember that you are? You're trying to diagnose your internet. Is it sick? Did I give it my whatever I have? Speaking of. This is the worst I've been, I think, ever. I don't know what this virus is, if it's a virus or something, but like, I can't stay awake for more than like, I don't know, 3 hours. And I haven't been drinking coffee either, because coffee makes like phlegm and shit worse. Oh man, I'm not crying, I'm just like, I don't know, throwing a pity party or something. But I'm like, I can't stay awake. I wake up in the morning and I immediately transition into like a nap. And then I get up and like shower or something or eat something, and then I nap again for like 2 hours. That's been my days. Did you get hit with daylight savings time too? Oh, I didn't even know that happened. Did that happen already? I didn't even know. Could be. Shit. I've missed. Now I have to Google that. Sorry, I'm gonna Google it if daylight savings happened. Daylight savings on Mars. Kidding. There you go. No, it didn't happen yet here. So, no, that's gonna happen soon, though. But it didn't happen yet. So no, the answer is no. Anyways, it's like, it's not like the virus effects are like a little bit of phlegm and a little bit of coughing, right? And then just like absolutely deadening tiredness, like horrific fatigue. Today's a little better. I'm also back on coffee, so I'm trying to stay awake. So I only napped twice today already since getting up, I guess. Right.
Aside from making something look visually stunning, it also organizes complex information to be delivered in the most comprehensible way. Before we
Wait, friend, so what's your job? What do you, what kind of a artist slash designer are you? I don't remember. Remember you are some kind of person of beauty. Let me know.
start with the course, let's take a brief and quick look at the history of graphic design.
I never know why they do this, why they add like history of something into the mix. Who cares? Can you raise the volume of the video? Yes, I'm sorry. I absolutely can. If it's hold on.
Before
Yeah, should be this.
there were printing presses.
Is that okay? Cool. Your art is a hobby, all right. Well, teach me anyways. I'm so shit at it. I'm so terrible at it. And it's like, seriously, like 50% of clickability of a video. I keep making these elaborate videos. Nobody watches them. I think because my thumbnails are just shit. Hey, what's up, Jalen? You have a controversial topic, I'm sure. Listen, I've been unsubscribed from like twice in the past 2 days. So, I don't know. Give it to me, but I can't promise that I'll comment on it. Because I keep opening my mouth and people are like, vegans are so unforgiving to vegans. Just like, boom, unsubscribe immediately. But they can watch for hours and hours people who are not vegan. It's really funny. I'm like that as well a little bit, so I'm not like just dogging on people. Hello, doggo. Speaking of dogging. Veganism is a tough niche, so I wouldn't get it, let it get you down. Yeah, but like, I think lately I like found a niche which I like doing and I want to continue doing it. And I think it could be like a really good and special niche. But like, it requires a huge amount of like, sorry, one sec. Oh. It requires investment of time and energy and talent, right? Of which I have some. I have some talent. But then my thumbnail is not good. It's not communicative. And so people just skip my videos, I think. Should trans women be allowed to use women's bathroom? Yes. I don't know why that's controversial. There are like maybe 2 examples of trans women attacking other women, and the rest of the attacks are by men, so why wouldn't you? Like the probabilities. Sorry. I don't know why that's controversial. Right, let's continue.
Of graphic design. Before there were printing presses, the actual root of visual communication goes back to cave painting in prehistoric times, around 38,000 BC. Early cave paintings are a sign that humans
And another thing nobody's asking, should trans men be allowed to use men's bathroom? Nobody's asking the other side, right?
had an innate drive towards art.
Nobody's also asking, oh, what should we do? Like, can we do other stuff to prevent women, like, to prevent from, like, women from being attacked? We only care about this when we talk about trans women for some reason. Why?
Historians aren't quite sure as to who cave drawings were meant to communicate with, but humanity already showed an interest.
Yeah, that's a good idea in Pig's Dream. Maybe I should ask why. Frankly, I often use men's room. I just kind of don't care.
For communicating with visuals. Around 3000
What's up,
BCE,
Udot?
the Sumerians created the first written languages with
So for people coming in, we are taking a little graphic design basics course. So that, one sec. Let me just do that. Hold on. How do I do that? No. There you go. So like a graphic design course, because I need to get better at thumbnailing, I guess.
the purpose to record trading and
so uninterested
inventories.
in
The earliest
history
languages
of
weren't
graphic
phonetic
design.
sounds, they were logographic. That means icons that represented entire
Hey, what's up, Bible Dumb Podcast? You're doing graphic design. I desperately need help. So I said it in the beginning that throughout the years, I keep finding myself in this situation where I need to be good or decent at graphic design, and I'm just shit. I'm so much better than I was before, but I'm just so terrible at the visual communication. I have very I don't know. My mind just doesn't work that way. And I really need to get better at it, because I think if I'm going to stick with YouTube, which, I don't know, still in the air, I think I found my niche, but it takes a lot of effort. And then that effort is absolutely killed by the fact that I don't know how to do thumbnails properly. Nobody's clicking on my videos, you know? Which sucks. Sucks a lot.
words and concepts. There is evidence that at the beginning of the current era, around 200, China used printing methods using wood reliefs to print on silk, clothing, and paper. Around 1040, Bei Shen invented the world's first movable type printing press from
Thank
porcelain.
God I
That's
don't need to
hundreds
be
of
good at
years before
history for
Gutenberg's
YouTube.
press in Europe. In the Middle Ages, typography started to catch on, and letters and words became
It's often about creating enough contrast in different elements, whether in size, color, font. Well, first you need to put elements on the digital paper. And I draw a blank, usually. Like the last 2 times that I made a thumbnail, I thought I did a good job. And the first one, I think, was successful. Let me just show it to you. One sec. Was it change? I think my change thumbnail was cool. So it was 2 of them. Oh, sorry. That was number 1. The other one was basically the same, but like with a different thing, and that attracted more people. Oh, you can't see it because it's too small, too big. There you go. And it worked. It was simple enough, and this video was viewed like almost 1,500 times. And the second time I really, really gave it a thought as well, and I created this thumbnail, and it didn't work. And this video was viewed up till now, it's like been more than a month, less than 110 times. And I thought I really cracked it with this one, with this thumbnail. I thought it was really good. But it wasn't. Nobody clicked on it. So I need to understand a little better what works and how to make it work. You know what I mean? Like, I can't keep putting a lot of effort into videos and then they're not watched because of thumbnails, basically. I think I proved it because the first thumbnail worked. It worked very well. The second looked too ambiguous. Yeah. I had no other ideas though. So, not sure what the video is about on first glance. I understand, I guess. Well, not really. Hey, what's up? You back, PJ? All right. You didn't
essential
miss much.
texts and books were being reproduced by hand. Uncials were prominent in this area, a majuscule script style used by Latin and Greek scribes. Calligraphy, page layout, and lettering became important as calligraphy masters traveled around to share and educate the elite. Johannes Gutenberg developed the movable type and printing press in the 15th century. This was a turning point for modern typography because it allowed for mass communication, reproduction of lengthy books, literacy for the masses. This was the start of design as commercial use. The Industrial Revolution.
Well, yeah, that's the thing by my Bible Dump podcast. I also like my videos. I think they're good. And I'm like, you know, I'm good at editing. I studied editing. And it was clear that I'm good at editing from the first second from the first video I ever edited. It was really clear that I'm good at it. Even though sometimes like editing yourself is a little harder because you leave a little bit more in. It's like you're too close to it, maybe. So sometimes I probably edited it like in a way that is not good. But the videos are good, I think. I sure put a lot of effort in them. The concept videos, I call them. But nobody's clicking on them. So look at Mr. Beast thumbnail and copy that. Well, it's not the same niche. I can't copy it. He's doing something else. I'm not doing that stuff. Yeah, please don't actually. Actually, he's being shat on as a thumbnailer. He's also like his audience is kids, children, right? So it's probably not the best idea to do. I put Mr. Beast on one of the thumbnails. It didn't work. The video was viewed like less than 90 times. But yeah, let me find that. It's also retrospective now of my work or something. Where was the series? It's here. Oh. What? Oh, there you go. It's here. Nah. Yeah, that's Mr. Beast, I guess. But it didn't work. And look how shit this is. It's terrible. Absolutely everything from color choices to composition to my goofy face. Everything is terrible here. Anyways, that's what I gotta do. I gotta learn how to do better thumbnails, more communicative thumbnails. I would have joined the stream at the start for the first time, but internet crashes. Oh no. I hear the first 100k subs are the hardest. I mean, I don't think it's the quality of your work or thumbnails. It is thumbnails, I proved it. Because I checked the subs on this video that I did about change, right? I changed a lot of stuff. First of all, the production was much, much higher than usual. Like, I created a soft box and a bunch of other stuff. And I made this thumbnail, and it was incredibly successful. The video was, for me, right? The video was watched substantially more than usual, maybe like 7 times more than usual. So it is the thumbnails. Everybody, all the people who are like YouTube pros, they say the thumbnail and the title are the most important things in the video. Your video can be fantastic, but if the thumbnail is not good, nobody's gonna watch it. That's the thing. So it is the quality of the thumbnail, unfortunately. Yeah. And why you don't want to. That's the thing. Look at Nerdwriter1. His thumbs are simple but effective. Let me check them out. Hold on. Oh, that's not gonna find it. You should probably enter YouTube first. That's good. Hold on. Oh, god damn it. Nerdwriter. Well, let's take the videos. Yeah. Yeah. Like, technically, I would probably know how to make this. So I have one thing in my favor. I already know how to make it technically. It's the ideas that I don't have and I don't know how to make. Yeah, this is pretty. Right.
Between 1760 and 1840 brought new technologies to increase efficiency like lithography and eventually chromolithography. These printing methods, first with only one color ink and the latter with multiple colors, involved inking a design into stone or metal and transferring it to a sheet of paper. Typography took on a much bigger role through signs, posters, newspapers, and advertisements. Typefaces became larger, bolder, and even more experimental. The later...
Well, that's the thing, Davey. I don't know how to do that visually. I don't know how to convey what the video is about in 3 or 4 words. Or like, or visual, you know. Can put words on a thumbnail, but I'm also notoriously shit at deciding what font, where to put it, and all that stuff.
Decades were...
I'm just shit at it. It's like, I don't know, it's something about it that is completely foreign to my experience, is how to do any kind of graphic design. I'm just absolutely shit at it. Yours aren't great either.
Full of art movements that heavily influenced design trends. We've seen everything from the Bauhaus, Swiss design, and postmodernism. After the 1950s, the world began to embrace the digital era. The invention of computers, software like Photoshop, and the internet.
I remember when the Photoshop looked like this. That's when I started studying Photoshop, kind of. Isn't it like in 2001? Was the first time I studied Photoshop. That's amazing. Yeah, I remember this background. It's funny.
Paved way to new design disciplines like web design, interactive design,
Oh, the
UI.
background, I guess, is from not from Photoshop, but I remember there was something like that. It was like really hard to look at because the screens weren't great back then. Looking at popular vegan channels, they basically all are just kind of looking at the camera, doing the Mr. Beast model sort of. Yeah, I hate it. What's up, Knight Rider? I wonder what you retracted.
UX, digital product design, and a myriad of other digital designs. Graphic design has now two constants: communication first, and it is always evolving. So now that you know where graphic design came from, it is time to learn.
I think I'm going to change the way I do my thumbs too. I need to stop using AI. Yeah.
The
Hey, what's up,
basics.
Carrie?
Every design piece is composed of different basic principles of design, appropriate color palette, carefully chosen typeface, and even more carefully typeset text. In this chapter, we will take a look at design principles, color theory, vocabulary, and elements of typography. But first, let's start with a definition of graphic design
Why? We don't need to.
and the role of a graphic
damn it.
designer.
Like, if people are coming to learn graphic design, why do you need to give them the history of graphic design? Just teach them the fucking graphic design. I'm shit, thank you for asking, Carrie.
William Addison Dwiggins wrote an article, New Kind of Printing Calls for New Design, and in it he described exactly what his role was. He brought structural order and visual form to printed communications. A graphic designer is primarily concerned with applying design principles for communication. We can communicate through logos, brand systems, layouts, design
I just skip. Nah,
and artifacts, collateral,
I don't know. I'm gonna-
etc. But all of this helps
Let it
a
play
brand,
out.
a book, or entity organize and clarify information, tell a story, and ultimately connect with people in a meaningful way.
It just pisses me off. Why do like the when people like make a recipe, they put like their entire life history on top of that recipe. Why? Just skip to the fucking recipe. Like,
So in the
why do we
next
need
3
this?
lessons, you will learn all the basic principles, the color theory, and the elements of typography that you can apply in order to communicate effectively.
Yeah. I just spent some time in a religious live stream arguing the Bible. Funny, Carrie.
In this lesson, we will take a look at basic design principles. And the principles of design are a set of rules that designers can follow when creating a composition to create a visually pleasing work. The purpose of these rules is to deliver a message in the most organized and functional way. So let's get started with the first principle, balance. Any element placed on a page carries a visual weight. It can range from form to size, color, and texture. In order to make a design feel stable or have balance, the elements need to have a certain scale. Lack of balance would make your design feel heavy on one side and empty on the opposite, and sometimes it can feel as it is falling off to one side. You can have symmetrical balance or asymmetrical balance. So symmetrical balance is when the elements on the right side have the same visual weight as the elements.
Maybe we should start writing this down. Give me a sec. So. Principles. 1. Balance.
Elements on the left side.
Holy shit, it's 1 a.m. You had caffeine 12 hours ago. Oh no. Oh no. Go to sleep, Carrie. Please. You need to sleep once in a while.
Symmetrical designs have different elements on the left and the right side, but equal visual weight. Next, we have unity. Unity is the harmony produced by all the elements in a design piece.
Unity. Unity. Mm. Oh my fucking god, what's going on? It's this one. Sorry.
Using similar colors that match and integrate elements organically makes it appear as if they belong together. You can achieve unity by making clear relationships between the visual elements. Lack of
How? Oh my god, this is a disaster. This is what my graphic design usually looks like. Absolutely terrible.
unity would make your design feel cluttered and confusing. Not only that, but viewers will be attracted to the wrong element of the design and won't get a clear message.
Triangulation. I did graphic design for 6 months as a teenager. Just triangles. Trust me. I don't know what that means. It's just triangles. Triangulation. I don't know how to achieve that visually.
Next up, we have contrast. Contrast
You put 3 spots of the same color. Interspersed in the picture. Start reading a book and that always. Yes, yeah.
refers to the level of difference between design elements in order to create visual hierarchies.
Contrast. They're really, if we start with a small one, let's continue. They're really not saying much. They're just saying the thing.
The variation makes certain elements stand out more than others, and you can apply contrast by using colors, textures, sizes, and shape. Contrast can also create a focal point to certain elements that can draw the viewer's eyes. Lack of contrast can make a design look dull, and viewers can overlook the important message. Repetition. Using repeated elements on a layout can be pleasing to the user.
Repetition. Repetition. I don't know why I have to put a point at the end of everything.
Repetition is repeating a single element through the design. We can call a grid a repetition of lines because it creates a certain consistency. Repetition can
I started a new job. I drove on the freeway. You're pumped. What's the new job, Carrie?
a grid a repetition of lines because it creates a certain consistency.
Wait.
To the user, repetition is repeating a single element through the design. We can call a grid a repetition of lines because it creates a certain consistency. Repetition can also be achieved by repeating elements in a design like a logo or a tagline in a brand development project. Or in a layout design, repetition is shown through the folio placement to help users find their way. Next up, we have pattern, and pattern is the repetition of more than one design element.
Pattern. I'm gonna have to watch this again later. I don't know what's going on with me. Oh, I'm sick as fuck.
While repetition focuses on a single element being repeated, pattern
You do no work and get paid loads. I mean, same. I do some work, not non-zero amount of work. This week I'm not getting paid at all because I'm sick. But that's okay. I'll have a chance to kind of make it up.
Refers to multiple elements repeated throughout a design, like wallpapers and backgrounds. You can see seamless patterns predominantly in interior design when using tiles or wallpapers. Next, we have rhythm. Rhythm is the visual tempo of a combination of elements when used repeatedly.
Rhythm. Nope, there is an H there. Rhythm.
And with variation. It gives the feeling of organized movement.
You feel embarrassed to say it? Yeah, then don't say it. Don't worry. It's alright. I don't think there is an embarrassing job unless it's like exploitative or something. I don't think there's such a thing. But that's okay, you don't have to. Check bins, replace walls with empty. Yeah, that's a good job. It's a good job. There's no such a thing as like an embarrassing job, I think. Sick because of lack of project. The first days of this, I think it's a virus, I don't know what it is. Definitely was lacking in protein because I had like almost no appetite. I lost shitload of weight, by the way, like in this week. Barely ate anything, just didn't have an appetite. And whenever I tried to eat, it just took me ages. I had to make myself finish the dish. It was really hard to eat. But now I'm getting a little better. I still don't have a lot of appetite, but I kind of make myself eat. So now I'm okay protein-wise. Not great though. You had COVID last week, lost 5 kilos. Shit. Yeah.
Movement. Rhythm is a principle of design that is usually hidden in works of art, and it is not as obvious in design principles or design works. Next up, we have movement. This refers to the path the viewer's eyes take through a composition.
Movement. Yeah, it's not simple, is it? If it was simple, everybody could do it. Did I lose my guns? Probably, yeah. But I lost a lot of fat as well. So that's good. I try to do like some non-zero amount of workout. You know, like today I did a little bit, but really with so little weight because I'm just tired. Just like weak. Didn't quit my old job. It's more like a promotion. That's cool. No, don't worry about it, Carrie. If a person can find a good like a job where they can barely do any work and they get paid for it, I think that's smart as fuck. I couldn't even put down a protein shake, frankly. I was just very, very weak. Did you know that the notepad has tabs now? You can open a new tab. Isn't it cool? It's kind of cool, I think. You lost 5 kilos at Christmas because of a bug, yeah. Well, whatever this is, it's fucking... Ugh.
Movement in a composition creates interest in a dynamic play that keeps the viewer engaged. Movement can be created with rhythm when using a variation of an element repeatedly. Movement can be created with curved lines and diagonal lines. These lines trace the path to the focal point. Next, we have emphasis. Emphasis is a...
Oh my god, it's so long. I don't think I'm getting all of it either. I'm gonna have to rewatch it and like give it more notes what each of those things means.
Strategy to get the viewer's attention to a specific design element. This can be in any form, a button, a website, an image. The purpose is to create something that will stand out from the rest of the page. Color is an easy way to create emphasis in any design because it creates a sense of urgency and attention. Proportion. Proportion is the sense of unity created when all the elements
Holy fuck.
in a composition relate well with each other. Proportion as a principle of design doesn't necessarily refers to the size of one element, but to the relationship of two or more elements. For example, in layout hierarchy, the proportion of the headline compared to the photo caption needs to be larger, as the headline is the most important element. Smaller elements have less importance. Harmony. Harmony as a principle of design is the sense
Jesus. Guys, this is getting too much. Literally get paid $56 an hour. That's good. Shit. That's really cool, Carrie. Gonna be able to give Chip and people like him some tips, huh? Is Chip still live, though, by the way? Let's see. If he is. Are you still live? Yeah, he's still live. His thumbnails are hilarious lately.
of cohesiveness between the elements in a composition. The elements shouldn't be exactly the same or completely different, but related in some way. Color palettes or similar textures can create a sense of unity between different components. And last, we
Yeah, good night, Carrie. Should try to sleep, yeah. Sleep is important.
related in some way. Color palettes or similar textures can create a sense of unity between different components. And last, we have variety.
Oof. Last, that's 11. I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch this later. Want me to stay live while I'm
In the
rewatching
principles
it?
of design, variety is about creating visual interest that will keep viewers or users engaged with your design. Holding their attention and guiding them through the composition will create a powerful experience. Variety adds something interesting to create contrast and tension. So for instance, mixing organic shapes with geometric shapes adds variety. This
Give it a try, Carrie. Give it a try.
concept should reinforce the message you're trying to communicate in your design, otherwise it can look dull or pointless. The elements and principles of art and design are the foundation for creating a composition. The use of these principles will help you design with purpose by giving function to every single element in a composition. In the next lesson, we will look at some color theory vocabulary and its importance. If you're a beginner designer and you're looking to streamline designs, processes, and you're looking for templates or inspiration, Envato Elements is a great resource for assets. With their extensive and always evolving library, you're sure to find something you need. From photographs to stock video, motion graphics, or if you need specific sound effects,
In respect, they should sell something for this course.
and music and web templates. There are millions of creative digital assets with simple commercial licensing, and you can cancel anytime. In this lesson, we will take a look at color theory. In color theory, colors are organized on a color wheel. In order to understand other color theory concepts, it is essential to understand this handy tool. Artists and designers use this tool to develop color harmonies that are pleasing to the eye and communicate to evoke certain emotions. Sir Isaac Newton created the traditional color wheel in 1666, and that now helps us understand how colors work together. The color wheel consists of 3 primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. Mixing these 3 colors gets us other 3 secondary colors, purple, green, and orange. And by mixing primary and secondary colors, we get other 3 tertiary colors of blue-green, blue-violet, and yellow-green. The color wheel can also be split into 2 main temperature groups. Warm colors.
Hey, what's up, Dennis? Don't let Carrie Ban unmute you. Why? What did you do? What did you do? What is this? Somebody sent me something. What did he do, Carrie?
Are associated with the sun, warmth, fire, energy, action, while cool colors are associated with calm and peace. Blue, green, and purple, and their different shades are cool colors. As graphic designers who work in print and digital, we have to be familiar with color profiles or color spaces. This is
You want a special VPN protection? Well, I don't know why yet. I can't give you protection if I don't know the story. Look, Danish. All the non-vegans are relatively safe in my chat. I think it's important to keep you guys around because you know, arguing with non-vegans is what gets us better at our activism or at our way of thinking and things like that. But sometimes, yeah, sometimes people get too exhausting and they need to be blocked or muted. That happens, Dennis. Sometimes, you know, somebody is clearly not communicating with the purpose of being fair. And then why would you keep somebody around? You wouldn't talk to him if you knew what he said. Well, that's what I'm asking. What did he do? Well, go to bed, Carrie. It's okay. I mean, she's going to sleep, so it's fine. Let's not dwell on this right now. Let's concentrate on colors. Isn't that the beautiful thing in the world? Colors. Let's concentrate on that. That's not it. That's it.
This is very important to know, and it is based on the final result of the project. RGB and CMYK are 2 different color spaces that are used for different mediums. So let's start with RGB. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. This is the color mode for digital output that need light to show color. RGB uses the additive color method. That means that when all the colors are combined, we get white. So RGB is mainly used when your final design will be displayed on a screen, be it a phone or a computer screen or an advertisement screen. So CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. CMYK uses the subtractive color mixing method. That means that all colors start with white paper and then we subtract color until we get to black. This is a color mode to use if the design will be physical. One important thing to know is that the colors we see on screen will never be as vibrant when they are printed. So while we're designing on a screen and we set up our document as CMYK, we will see bright colors, but when it is printed, the colors will be slightly washed out. So always keep that in mind. Now let's take a look at color qualities. That would be hue, saturation, and value. Hue is any color on the color wheel. It is another word for color. While saturation is the intensity or the purity of the color. So this controls if we want the color to look more saturated, meaning vibrant, or desaturated, meaning dull. Value has to do with how light or dark a color is. This is where we get into shade, tint, and tone. Shade is created by adding black to a hue or color. In other words, darkening a color for it to be rich. Tint is created by adding white to make a color less intense. And tone is created by combining black and white or gray with a hue. Now let's take a look at color harmonies. Color harmony is referred to colors that look appealing, balanced, and just
Yeah, I still do. I still do have a virus. I don't know if it's a virus or not. I haven't checked. Like my doctor, if I would call him, he would say, just let it out. It's fine. You'll get over it. He's such a fucking asshole, my doctor. Every time I ask him for like some kind of a test, I was like, why? Well, because I don't feel good, or because I want to know, or whatever. Such an asshole, Jesus.
work beautifully together. So let's take a look at some essential color harmonies that can get you started on creating your own color palettes. The first color harmony is complementary. Complementary color harmony pairs two colors directly opposite on the color wheel. Red and green or blue and yellow are basic examples of this. This helps create a strong contrast color scheme. Keep in mind that you can also use the different hues and tones. They don't have to be pure hues or pure colors. Next up, we have split complementary. This color scheme uses one base color and two secondary colors. So instead of using a complementary color, two colors placed symmetrically.
There's actually a thing that there's like a site that have this. I have it open right here. So there's a site that you can do this color matching in all kinds of ways. Like you can go to complementary, triadic, all kinds. Hello, Bianca. We're doing your favorite thing. We're learning. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much I understand.
Around it on the color wheel are used. The base color is main, while the secondary color should be used only for highlights or accents. Next up, we have analogous, and this color harmony works by combining a main color with colors that sit next to it. This color scheme can produce a calming energy. Because it's so easygoing, it doesn't have that much of a contrast. Next up, we have monochromatic. This takes just one basic color from the color wheel and uses its different shades, tones, or tints to create a palette. It looks simple and cohesive. Next up is triadic. This color scheme uses three colors that are evenly spaced on the color wheel, forming a triangle. Tetradic colors are two sets of complementary colors that form one palette. These
Jesus, that's a lot to go through, isn't it?
colors work best when one of the colors is the dominant in the palette and the rest are used as accent colors. And last in this lesson, we have to take a look at color psychology. This is a very powerful tool to use in graphic design. Colors have the ability to impact a person's impression of a brand and evoke certain emotions. Just like warm colors are associated with the sun, fire, and cool colors are associated with peace and calm, the rest of the color wheel also affect perception and behaviors.
Am I doing a little better? Maybe a little bit, but not too much. I'm just trying to use, like, I haven't done anything in more than a week. Well, not much more, because last Saturday I was live, but I was like getting visibly worse throughout the live stream. And then in the evening of Saturday, I just, it all went to like worse. And then I didn't sleep throughout the night. And on Sunday, I just woke up completely dead, unable to eat, It was terrible. So compared to that, yeah, I'm doing better. But I'm still narcoleptic as fuck. You're streaming, so yeah. I was thinking of doing this course today, and maybe I should stream it. Maybe some other people would want to learn this as well. Isn't that pretty? How do you get to make this much pretty? I'm just not gonna be good at this, but I'm trying.
So there are many factors to consider, like cultural background, gender, age, and many more, as colors can be perceived in different ways. Based on different studies, colors can evoke certain emotions. So for instance, red can represent power, passion, excitement, but it can also have a negative connotation like anger, danger, and aggression. Blue represents trust, security, and serenity. Its negative connotation is cold and emotionless, and sometimes even unfriendly. Green's positive connotations are related to health, hope, and prosperity, while some negative connotations can be boredom and stagnation. Colors are a powerful visual tool that, when used correctly, can get not only feelings but also ideas across. Some of us might have learned the basics of the color wheel in school, but mastering it doesn't have to be difficult. Understanding the color theory wheel can help you create a myriad of color combinations that can even be the main character in your design. Now that
Maybe I should steal the Pantone from somebody. Should go to like a hardware store. I'm like, can I see your Pantone? And just run away with it. You should try meditation, try breath work. I don't know how that would work for a virus. Greenwashing comes to mind. Yeah, true. The buses sometimes of a green color, despite not being any greener. Guys, I need a little break, maybe to get like a coffee or something to drink. So I'll be right back, okay? I'm just microwaving the barley drink, so I'm back for 2 minutes and then I'm gonna go get my drink. I just made my thumbnail for the week. I think it's really good. Well, send it to me. Let's see it. You can send it to me on Discord, I think, Davey. We'll see if people click. Let's see it. Like throughout the years, I became at least good at like criticizing thumbnails. Oh, not thumbnails, but criticizing graphics. Probably not. Probably shit at it. I get here and immediately a break is needed. No. No, Bianca. Oh, no. Oh, man, I'm tired. I'm getting tired. I don't know what's going on. It's like I can't stay awake for more than a few. Hey, what's up, nerds like us? How you doing? I keep wanting to go back to sleep. If it wasn't for that, I would be out back at work already. But I just like keep wanting to go back to sleep every couple of hours. Like I wake up in the morning and immediately go back to sleep. Yeah, I know you're joking, PJ. Oh man. So I don't know what's going on. It's like, why would I want to go back to sleep now? Yeah, my coffee is ready. I'll be right back. Thank you for panicking. I appreciate it. Thank you for missing me so much that you panic. Anyway, let's continue, I guess.
You know what color theory is? It is time to look at one of the most important elements in design, typography. What is typography? Typography is the strategic arrangement of type in order to make written language readable, legible, and appealing. Typography has evolved
I'm the shittiest at this part.
greatly through the centuries. The serifs we see in fonts today can be traced back to early engravings in ancient Rome. Serif capital lettering was used to inscribe monuments and
history lessons.
buildings.
Thank you,
Characters were
Jesus
created by
Christ.
chiseling on stone, so the chisel created small feet at the end of each stroke. In the 14th century, Johannes Gutenberg adopted the movable type printing press, and this allowed a larger number of sheets to be printed using ink. Gutenberg then developed the first ever typeface, black letter. But shortly after, Roman type styles became popular since black letter was difficult to read, so typesetters started to look for ways to produce affordable books, so they came up with space-saving techniques like tracking and leading. During the Industrial Revolution, printing presses evolved and paved way for advertisements. So designers started to experiment with condensed and stretched type for newspapers and posters. The upside of all of this typographic freedom was the development of slab serif typefaces. So these were punchier and bolder revivals of existing serif styles, and they still gave and still now give a lovely old-timey feel to titles in current designs. By the 1900s, the modernist times, designers were creating some of the humanist and geometric typefaces we use today, like Futura, Gill Sans, and Helvetica. So these were introduced as functional and ultra-legible typefaces. With the evolution of computers, now we can create sophisticated typefaces with specialized software making fonts available to all computer users. Not only that, but the range of
So bold.
typographic family
Nerd.
designers can now create is impressive. Variable fonts is the latest digital type edition where one font file contains multiple typographic styles that vary in weight, width, style.
Google Fonts. Maybe it's a good idea to use. Just don't understand, like, visually how to create anything. Just shit at it. Oh, come on.
Style and size. So before we get into type classifications, it is essential to know type anatomy. That way I can explain the differences between the different type styles and it can further help understand typesetting basics. Let's start with serif. So serifs are the small feet at the end of a stroke on a letter or a character, and they originated back in time. Characters were created by chiseling on stone, so the chisel created small feet at the end of each stroke. Serifs are usually used for long body copy because they are highly legible. Next up, we have ascender. So any part of a lowercase letter that extends above the X height, for example, letters like B, D, or H, have an ascender. Descender is any part of a lowercase letter that extends below the baseline, for example, G, J, P, or Q. So that would be the vertical stroke that goes downward. So axis refers to the direction of the stroke in a letter form, often taking inspiration from how letter forms might appear if drawn with a pen. The ear is a finishing stroke, usually on the upper right side of the bowl of the lowercase g. Bowl is the curved part of the character that encloses the circular or curved parts, also called counter, of some letters such as lowercase b, d, o, uppercase d, and uppercase b. Shoulder is the round part of a letter such as R, M, or N, all lowercase. This name comes from the fact that it resembles a human shoulder. Stem is the main, usually vertical stroke of a letter form, also known as a stroke, and that's a main or heavy stroke of a letter. Spine is the main left to right curving stroke in the uppercase and lowercase s. The spine may be almost vertical or almost horizontal depending on the typeface. Ligatures are special characters that are a combination of two individual characters. Some letters can bump into each other when printed, and ligatures allow for them to flow better together. Lowercase is the small form of letters in a typeface, the title letters or non-capital letters of the alphabet.
Bro, the people who make fonts are fucking insane. The amount of things, like when I studied industrial design, cutlery used to be like the thing that designers were saying is the hardest thing to do because there are so many restrictions that are like completely meaningless now, but like even 20-25 years ago, cutlery had like this huge amount of rules that you had to follow when designing it. And fonts are kind of like that. There are so many restrictions that like creating something in this sphere is like sounds like fucking maddening. It's like insane. He sent it to me in Discord. Let's see. Let's go. Ooh, that looks pretty. Yeah, it's very strong. Let me pull it out. There you go. That's gonna be Davy's thumbnail. That's cool. That's awesome work, Davy. It's cool. Humans have spent way too much brain power on this. Yeah. Yeah, awesome job, Davy. Really good job.
Uppercase glyphs. Uppercase is the capitals in a typeface.
Davy also try to not to uncheck the part when you oh fuck, I can't speak. Uncheck send notification to subscribers or whatever it's called, because this thumbnail could be like cool enough for other people to like click on, and if it goes only to your subscribers, then basically only your subscribers will watch it. Big difference from last week. Well, maybe this will work for you. Maybe it will be worth the effort. F1 car strict rules to build the car, yeah. Hey, what's up, Andoni? How you doing? Yeah, you didn't know that was an option. Yeah. It could work, it could fail miserably. So, take it with a grain of salt. It's gonna be one of those things for sure. What are we learning? We're trying to learn graphic design. We're taking a small internet course. So right now we are on fonts.
The name
And
comes
it's
from the
fascinating.
days of metal type. Capital letters were kept in the upper part of the typeface. Font styles. Font style is the adjustment of the character or case, such as italics and all caps. Some typefaces have no style options, and sometimes
Yeah, so when you make like YouTube thumbnails, there is no choice. You have to go with the uppercase, right? There is absolutely no choice. You gotta do it.
only offer a regular weight. Weight is the overall thickness of a typeface's stroke in any given font. The most common weights are regular and bold, but weights can cover extremes from the very light to the very heavy. With a weight axis in variable fonts, that number is effectively unlimited. Let's talk about type classification. Knowing the different typefaces categories is essential to identify them historically and distinguish them visually. Let's take a look at sans serif first.
This is the one that you supposedly should use on thumbnails. Oh yeah, and Donnie, we are studying this so that we could make better thumbnails for this channel. I'm convinced that that's gonna make a difference.
Sans is French for without. Sans serifs are what the name describes, without serifs. Sans serif fonts are the most versatile category of typefaces. You can use them as display fonts or long form copy. They're clean, minimal, modern looking. There are grotesque sans serif, and these fonts were commercially popular in the 1900s.
Yeah, those you probably shouldn't use those. You just don't do. No, I will not do Mr. Beast thumbnails. Although I already showed that I used Mr. Beast once in a thumbnail. Let me go back to it. One sec. It's here. Thumbnail. There you go. Well, that video was extremely unsuccessful, so I'm never gonna use it again.
They feature a slight contrast between thick and thin strokes and an open aperture gap in some characters. Neo
Sorry, one sec. Serifs are on letters, so it is easier for your eyes to track large amounts of text on a page. What do you mean on letters? So when you have a few words that are unneeded and come off as old-fashioned or formal. I'm not sure I understand, Davey.
grotesque sans serifs are refined versions that came later and intended to be more neutral and legible. They feature a uniform stroke and a closed aperture gap. Humanist sans serifs are based on the proportions of Roman-style capitals, and some characters have a calligraphic influence. They feature a higher contrast between the strokes, thick and thin, and a wider aperture. Geometric sans serif fonts usually feature optical circular bowls and
Serifs are the little lines that are on letters, yeah. So when you don't, oh, I understand. So when you don't use the serifs, it's more readable. It's easier for our eyes to track a large amount of text on a page. I get it, I think.
and rectangular proportions. They don't have a stroke contrast. It is more uniform.
You know, I thought this is how shit I am. I thought sans serif before this video. I thought it was a name of a font. And more than once, I just searched sans serif in the font line. See, I'm a dumbass. So I should know better. So I learned something today, so that's important. That's good. Wait, you're telling me that it's not the name of a font. No. So we learned that. So one sec, let's go back. When she was talking about what the sans serif is. So serif...
What is typography? Typography is a strategic arrangement of type in order of the great to type monuments. Our first popular will be paved way construction. Older and still design, humanist and geometric. With the evolution of computers, fonts of designers came in where one style essential to know type and I. That way I can explain the differences between the different type styles and it can further help understand typesetting basics. Let's start with serif. So serifs are the small feet at the end of a stroke on a letter.
There you go. There's something new that I learned today. I've done graphic design for businesses a few times and I never knew till now. Yeah. Let's go back to where we were, which was, I think, somewhere here.
A wider aperture. Geometric sans serif fonts usually feature optical circular bowls and rectangular proportions. They don't have a stroke contrast. It is more uniform and have a complete vertical axis. Next, we have serifs. So serifs, like mentioned before, are the small feet at the end of a stroke on a character, with the exception of...
I did it for fucking nothing. It would have repeated itself. Careful, once you start studying design, you start noticing the font chosen for every single sign you see. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we are in jeopardy for that. Like, historically, I'm just really, really shit at visual design of any kind. And yet I studied industrial design, actually.
Slab serifs, serif fonts can be used as body copy as they are easy to read and very comfortable to the eye. Serifs can be subdivided into old style. These fonts were developed between the 15th and 18th century to be used as metal.
What's industrial design? It's like product design. There is like a distinction between the two, but it's basically the design of a product. So industrial design, meaning designing something for mass production. I never worked at it, so I don't think I was good at it. Did you study CAD? I don't think so. I don't remember studying CAD. I remember it was really many years ago, 25 to be exact. I studied. So CAD is a program, right? I think. I studied 3D Max, studied Rhinoceros. I studied and really hated with passion. What was the name of it? SolidWorks and Solid Edge. Hated all of those with a passion. So, but I also hate doing sketches by hand. So it's just not a good fit altogether. I'm pretty creative, but just in certain things, not in others. I'm pretty creative with words. Probably should have gone to like some kind of a writing school or something. Oh well.
Type for early printing processes, these feature slightly rounded, cupped, and inclined serifs. Serifs can also be transitional, so these came into picture in the 18th century as a transition between old style fonts and modern styles. The main feature here is sharper serifs. Modern serifs became more refined in detail thanks to advances in the printing processes, and they feature completely straight, flat serifs that sometimes can make them look less legible and more fashionable. Last, we have slab serifs. These are easy to identify from the rest of the serif subgroups. The serifs are heavy and square and they have the same stroke thickness.
I will definitely have to watch this again. I suck at words. Yeah, it's I at times suck at words. I suck at spoken word, but writing I think I'm okay at. And what's up, yo dude? How you doing, Sahil? How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, bud. How's life? At written word, I'm pretty good, I think. I love metaphors, and I'm good at doing metaphors as well. I used to write for like a music review many years ago. I wasn't paid for it, but it was like volunteering. But it was in a like serious, reputable paper.
So they're very uniform. This type of fonts were used for advertisements in the early 1800s. Script. These are based on the flow of cursive handwriting and are divided into two main categories, formal and casual. Formal scripts are elegant typefaces used on wedding invitations and diplomas. They're inspired by writing from the 17th and 18th century. They feature connecting tails and flourishes. They look very elegant, very regal. Casual scripts are inspired by brushstrokes from the 20th century. Cool. They're more relaxed and friendly compared to formal scripts.
The hardest thing to use is casual script. Usually it looks like dog shit.
Monospace typefaces have a fixed width, meaning that all the characters occupy the same amount of horizontal space. These fonts bring to mind typewriters and computer programming. However, they can be a perfect choice for designers looking for sparse, minimal, and an undesigned feel. Display fonts don't fit into any of the previous categories. They are one of the largest and most diverse categories. Display fonts aren't suitable for body copy and are often experimental. Some examples are graffiti fonts, tattoo fonts, fantasy, and more. Variable fonts aren't really a style of typeface, but more of a file format. This OpenType format, developed jointly by Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Adobe, includes a new technology called OTF variations. A variable font can contain a font's entire glyph set, up to 64,000 variants, including weight, width, and slant. So, as a rule of thumb, serifs and sans serif fonts can be used for long-form copy. Mixing these two together is fine, but more than 3 fonts can be distracting.
I have already been using many of these fonts from Envato Element for my own personal projects. The quality of these fonts is amazing. You can impress clients and save so much time with their
so this is an ad again.
resourceful library. With one subscription, I have access to unlimited assets that go beyond just fonts, like photos, music, sound effects, and
Hello, Arjun. How are you? What is up? I don't know. To your question, I don't know.
graphic templates. You can subscribe with a link in the description.
It is important to always put at the forefront legibility and clarity. Remember that our jobs as graphic designers is to communicate and organize information. Typesetting helps polish up a design piece to achieve clarity and comfortability. Not many designers put this level of attention to detail, but if you do, it speaks volumes. So let's get started with readability. Readability relates to how type is set on a page. It is the arrangement of fonts and words in order to make written content flow in a simple and easy to read manner. Legibility is how a typeface functions. It is a measure of how easy it is to distinguish letters or words from one another and how easy blocks of text are read. There are different factors like X height, character width, weight, and other design traits that can determine.
VPM has a bad example of that. Of what? Of readability, probably. But let me know what do you mean specifically, friend, so we can look and laugh and point at how bad VPM is. So let me know. Probably all of them. A friend was gonna tell me, just open your page and see. The cutting jigsaw. Oh yeah, that was terrible. That was absolutely shit. Well, let me find it and we'll point and laugh at it. There you go. That was quick. Absolutely horrific. Hey, the video did well despite being actually blocked. Well-ish, right? It went as good as videos as, I mean, it's just the best that month. Let's just say it like that. Despite being restricted, age restricted. Yeah. You think that's good? De-animalization. Let's check out my de-animalization thumbnail. 1 sec. I don't even know if I still have it on this. I don't have it here already. I'm gonna have to find it in my studio. 1 second. De-animalization. Yeah, de-animalization is shit. It also worked, by the way. How do I show it? No, that's not it. Hold on. De-animalization. So, like, yeah. It was supposed to be human animal object because I have that echoing. It's absolutely the most terrible fucking thumbnail on earth. The colors are absolutely horrific. Kind of worked though. Kind of worked. It is one of the most viewed videos on my channel. Maybe just because of the name and people kind of discard the fact that the thumbnail is absolutely shit. I worked on it for a really long time. Fonts are very important in graphic design. There are hundreds of memes with font fails out there. Yeah, I know already off topic, but I sent you a meme. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. In memes. Mega fucks. That's pretty good, YouTube says. I worked hard on it, but it's pretty shit. Like design-wise, maybe it's good as a thumbnail, but it's not good as a design. Mega fucks. Yeah. True. True. Right. So I know what's not to do, maybe, sometimes. But I don't know what to do is the problem. So
if a font is legible. Size. The smaller the type size, the more difficult it is to read, especially if your audience includes children or elderly people. Always consider who you're designing the content for. Line length or column width. As a rule of thumb,
although I saw worse, but I can't remember. Yeah.
There should be between 45 and 70 characters per line. When the column width is too narrow, it can result in many hyphenated words, forcing the eyes to jump to the next line too often. On the other hand, long lines can cause confusion for the reader when they go from line to line. Leading or line space. The amount of leading you will need in a text box is based on the type size and the X height of the font you're using. To maximize readability, make sure there is enough line spacing, because too little line spacing can result on the lines crashing into each other. Tracking or letter spacing. This refers to the space between a group of letters in a line of text. Adjusting the tracking can enhance readability and change the texture of a text box. Kerning is the adjustment of the...
There's an example of that too. I'm supposing you sent me something. Let's check it out. Oh, no. Then what do you mean? Davey sent me something. That's funny. That's funny. Oh man. Fantastic. Oh. Conspiratorial language. Oh, conspiratorial language. Okay. One of my most viewed videos is conspiratorial language. I regret making it, but other than that, you know, let's find it. Also, is it? It's absolutely terrible thumbnail. I like it though. I know it's you're not supposed to do this, but I like it. What was the one I was thinking about? That was the one I'm thinking. Oh yeah. Yep, pretty shit. Yep. Are you sending me something? Wait, which one should I show? You'll always be mine. You'll always be mine. That's funny.
It's space between two individual characters within a word. It is mostly used in logos or headings to enhance.
I mean, that doesn't matter how you write it. It's creepy. It's just a creepy thing to say about an individual. I don't know. They're the same. Yeah, no. I know. You just enlarged it.
Legibility. Alignments. In paragraphs of Western text, alignment refers to the invisible vertical lines implied by a block of type. When type is left aligned, each new line begins from the same point on the x-axis. Right alignment isn't used that often, and center alignment should only be used for short form text. Rags. These are the uneven vertical margins on a block of text when it is left aligned or right aligned. You can fix them by hyphenating words where necessary or doing a soft return for a new line break. Rags are more about visual appearance, but the reading pace needs to also be considered here. Rivers. These are gaps that appear to run through a block of text which usually appear in justified text. A common way to fix this is by unjustifying the text or typesetting each line with hyphenation and soft returns. Orphans and widows. An orphan is a paragraph opening line at the beginning of a page or column that's separated from the rest of the text, and a widow is a single word or line at the end of a paragraph that's separated from the rest of the text. These two problems can be solved by adjusting the kerning or tracking or by adding manual line breaks.
But the bottom font is extra creepy, yeah. I learned about kerning like 20 years ago, forgot everything. I don't know what kerning is. Whoever named knows was creative, yeah.
And last, font case.
Oh, Felix is live. What is Felix doing? What is Felix doing? Sorry, I'm gonna check it out. If you don't know who Felix is, if you're not subscribed to him, you should. You should subscribe to Felix.
The point that I'm making, why I don't think I agree with veganism. The animals, they eat each other, bro. The animals, they eat each other. The chicken eats. Imagine, bro, the chicken ate a bird.
Can't do it.
I was, wow, flabbergasted. That's I never seen that before. Imagine if the chicken was, bigger than us, bigger than human. she would of course eat us because she eated everything that she already bigger than us. So naturally, as a human, or we are on the top of the chain of the food. We cannot eat other things to stay alive. That's why I don't think veganism is a good idea. I think if you see it in a moral perspective, I know it's not good to harm animal. Me too. I don't like to harm animal, but when I have to eat, I don't, I don't harm animals. But when I eat it, I'm gonna, kill it in a peaceful way. I'm not gonna make it, more painful for them.
You said like so many things, and I completely like lost you. You asked me,
Okay,
like,
okay.
I was counting like, okay, one question, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bro, I'm so fucking
sorry, I'm
lost,
sorry.
bro.
Felix
If you
is
want,
so
I can.
fucking
If
sweet.
you want, I can repeat the point.
Just the whole thing is,
Okay.
we have to harm animals.
No, we don't have to harm.
Why do we do
animals.
it? Why? Why?
Bro, it's a natural thing. You know,
If I
humans devour other animals
hold
to
on,
stay
hold
alive.
On, hold on.
It's
If we say it's
natural.
natural, right? Then I can also justify doing a lot of horrible things because it's natural. I could be like, that guy's annoying. I'm gonna punch him in the face. So,
bro, that's a really good point you made. But how can I, bro? I just can't, grasp the concept of veganism. Maybe that's me.
hold on, you're
Maybe
already
that's
grasping
me.
it. You're already grasping
Maybe
it.
you're gonna
You said,
join them.
Should we harm animals? No, we shouldn't. That's veganism. That's basically what it is.
No, maybe the point. Maybe the point that I'm, maybe you have differences in it, me and you. The harming animals point. Me, when I call it, when I call this someone is harming animal. When I see someone is abusing animal for no reason, maybe not giving them food, not treating them properly, not take care of them, maybe they're clean or not, the place they sleep in they're not clean or not. That's what is harming animals for me is, But when you treat the animal well, give them food, and
And then you
give
slit
them.
their fucking throat and put them on the grill, then it's okay?
Yeah, that's okay, cause they already. Bro.
If I did this with my dog, you would be okay with it as well, right? If I respected my dog, put him upside down and then just slit his throat, you'd be okay, right?
Bro, there is animals meant to eat, and there is animals
you said-
meant to do other things.
I can't do it anymore.
For example, don't.
Sorry, gang. When I'm there doing it with Felix, I'm okay with it, but just looking at it, I'm like, oh man. But go subscribe to Felix. He often streams his outreach, and he's very good at outreach. Let's just say it like that. So, yeah, let's continue this. We are halfway through. I don't think we can finish. Maybe we should stop here. Maybe I can continue on my own, and you can go say hi to Felix. How does that sound? Let me know if you want me to continue, or do you want to go to listen to Felix? Put one in the chat. Let's make it simple. Put one in the chat if you want me to stop, and you can go watch Felix. Put 2 in the chat if we should continue. Efrando says continue. Oh. Continue. Okay. Well, while I'm still alive and not completely falling asleep, let's go.
Uppercase is when every character is capitalized in a sentence. Lowercase is when no letters are capitalized. Sentence case is when the first letter of the first word in a sentence is capitalized. And title case is the first letter of each word capitalized. And that's it. In this lesson, you learned about one of the most essential elements of graphic design. Good typographic use is important in order to communicate messages successfully. It is time to look at the rest of what graphic design entails. In this chapter, we will take a look at design examples for the concepts of the previous chapter. You will learn how, depending on the discipline, you will have to make different design choices, and always keeping in mind that there's a brief to work off, a design solution that needs to be achieved, a message to be communicated, and a user whom we're designing for. We will also take a look at print design, what is the new definition of digital product design, digital design,
what's up,
and
everyone?
brand design. Through one of my branding projects, we will look at the brand design process, what you need to know before.
Hop in there in the Discord thing. I'm just too sick. I don't want to do it. The last time I did it as well, I just stopped sleeping for a week. So I just need to. My sleep has been absolutely erratic. Now I sleep throughout the night, but I just never wake up fully. I just keep napping, keep falling asleep. So no, not today, not today. Give them a run for their money. Maybe another day.
Before getting on the drawing board, the development process.
Like, it always feels like it's the best use of my time, frankly. To get into Discord and to start talking. Because most days when that happens, somebody goes vegan. Or at least there is a point where everybody or a lot of people in the room are completely with me, right? So that's it just sounds like the best use of my time. But it's just so taxing to me. Incredibly taxing. So maybe one day.
Deliverables and examples of brand identities that have made brand design a key part of companies. So let's get started. Print design is any design where the final form is intended to be printed. Since the rise of
We kind of don't need this part because we're trying to learn how to do thumbnails, but maybe we can go through it kind of faster. I don't know. Let me know if you can tolerate the sped up thing.
digital tools, every design will most likely be designed on a computer or even a web page, but the end product will be printed. This covers anything like brochures, shopping bags, stickers, labels, book covers, posters, business cards, flyers, and magazines. So let's start with poster design. Every designer has designed at least one poster in their career. The top priority of a poster design is to expose key information and for it to be easy to read from a distance. The use of space and hierarchy are very important here. So on this poster, we can see that it has balance by placing a text group.
Actually, this is exactly what we need. Something to communicate from the distance.
In the center and the design elements on both sides of the poster. There's high contrast not only in the background but also in the text size, so this helps establish hierarchy. The background adds a nice touch of movement to what could have been a static group of design elements. While there's contrast on the colors of the background, the designer
What to do? Olivali, are you back? Are you behind a little bit?
also used cool tones. This is balanced with the black and white type to not create more visual noise. And last, the font used here is a sans serif. Super easy to read from long distances, the text is concise, the date and the time are grouped together, and the hashtags have another little group at the bottom, so it is divided in good harmony and with good use of hierarchy. So our eyes go to the main text first in the center, next to the date, and last to the bottom to the hashtags, so people aren't confused as to where their eyes should go. Next, let's take a look at book design. So books started off as ancient scrolls back in the 4th millennium BCE. Books have been part of our daily lives since then, and they have evolved from handwritten to printed pages to digitized online. Books carry out information. This is where typesetting text is important. As designers, we want to make books that are comfortable and easy to read. So in this book design, there are a few type styles that establish hierarchy. The table of content, or TOC, and the welcome text box have the same font and size. This is bigger than the rest, establishing hierarchy that way. Throughout the pages, we can see repetition through the placement of the ingredients list. Photography is very important when it comes to book design because it helps create contrast between the design elements on a page. There are plenty of ways of displaying images, square, rectangular, and in circles. Here, it is important that you use high quality photography.
Maybe I should buy a cake. I've been wanting something decadently sweet for the past few days since my appetite somewhat returned.
Sometimes designers
Almost bought ice cream, but it's still too cold for an ice cream.
or projects don't have enough budget to have custom photography, so design assets are totally fine to use. The main text here is set in a sans serif font since there isn't long information like in a novel. A geometric sans serif font is fine, and we can also see contrasts between the typefaces. Choosing photography for a book design compared to a poster design is very different. Detail shots can look really beautiful here. Last, let's take a look at magazine design. So magazines are a direct representation of culture and society. They've been used since the 1700s to distribute news and information on general or specific topics. This multi-purpose magazine template would make a great arts and culture magazine.
I don't make something so pretty. Damn.
Or even a fashion magazine. Each spread achieves a great visual balance between left and right pages. The pages that contain images also create a sense of unity and cohesiveness. Nothing looks like it doesn't belong. There's emphasis created with a colored background on certain spreads. And as for type,
That could be an interesting way to do a thumbnail. Like this kind of background, like Time magazine style shit.
faces, the sans serif choice makes the publication look contemporary, modern, and clean. There is also a good sense of hierarchy and a play with the folio, the page number and section. While bigger than most magazines, it adds an edge to it. So the difference between magazine design and book design is that with magazine designs, you can get a little bit more creative.
Design is freaking hard, yeah. And I'm like especially shit at it. The voice of the video and the music go really well together.
Magazines usually have a topic or they're based on trends as opposed to book designs. These need to be more timeless. And that's it for print design. So remember, print design is any design where the final form is intended to be printed, something physical. In the next lesson, we will take a look at digital product design. Many of us have shopped online on Amazon or rented an apartment on Airbnb or have browsed Instagram not only on our mobile phones but also on desktops. Some of these websites are extremely easy to navigate through the use of design principles and usability. These websites are intuitive when it comes to their use, and this is the UI and UX or digital product designer's job. So why product design? In the context of product design, a digital product is a software application, website, or platform. Before 2010, the word product only referred to tangible goods. And now as softwares have become a normal part of our daily lives, designers and developers now look at these the same as a tangible product. UI and UX are sometimes used interchangeably, but these two concepts overlap. UX is focused on conducting research on the user's experience. UI designers focus on these as well, but on a more systematic level, making sure that everything looks good and feels good, so cohesiveness. For instance, on this beautiful set of UI screens, we can see how the different screens match with each other. They all have a certain characteristic, starting with a simple color palette and a call to action that stands out. That would be the buttons. Here would be also read more or play. There's a great sense of hierarchy through the typographic elements and the typographic system. It is clear which is the title or what information is more important. Overall, there is a great sense of balance and unity through the use of the color palette. The illustration style matches from one screen to the other. When it comes to mobile phones displaying complex information like data visualization, it is important to have order, create hierarchy, balance. Color choices also become important, and it is very systematic, especially because the information needs to be made clear, it needs to be easy to understand. This is where truly less is more. So now that you know the definition of digital product design, in the next lesson we will take a look at digital design. In this lesson, we will take a look at digital design, another graphic design discipline. So graphic design in general focuses mostly on static designs that are printed. Digital design and graphic design can overlap. That's the case for magazines that get printed but also require a digital version. Digital design can be also static, but it is often displayed on a digital device. It can also sometimes involve...
Guys, I'll be right back. Sorry. I'm sorry. This is the third recess, but I need it. One sec. Right. We're back.
Of movement like animation, modeling, and interactive pages. When it comes to movement, framing is important. It is the way the elements are arranged in the frame, similar to the principles of designs, but keeping in mind that there's movement involved. In this particular video, the camera pans from the back of the cliff to reveal a meander and the water. So the last frame is centered, balanced, and static because the bend or curve adds movement to the frame already. Because of this curve, it is also that the video looks super straight and aligned. An example of digital design that's static but it's only used on screen would be a YouTube thumbnail, a very popular design item these days since YouTube has become more and more popular. YouTube thumbnails need to look enticing, interesting, and need to call for attention in just a few milliseconds. So using a sans serif font is ideal. Make sure that it is easy to read. The design shouldn't be too complex because of the small size of the thumbnail, and you should use colors that are interesting and also interesting compositions that can catch the eye. This banner ad is a perfect example of digital design. In this case, we can see multiple sizes, but they all use the same elements. The dark background helps draw attention to the shoes as well as the light-colored typography. Sans serif fonts can create a sense of urgency, especially when used in all caps. Parts of the information uses a background color to help draw more attention. So this type of banner you would usually see.
It's similar to the color palette of Davy's thumbnail.
See in passing when scrolling a website. So it is very important that this type of design is striking, easy to read, and features an impactful image, so all of the attention goes to it. Remember, digital design and graphic design overlap in most things. The only difference is that most graphic design elements end up printed, while digital designs are always displayed on screen and their end use is for screens. In the next lesson, we will take a look at brand design, which often include both print design, digital design, and even sometimes produce digital product designs. So what is brand design? Brand design refers to key brand elements like logo, color scheme, typography, and other supporting elements that make a brand stand out from competitors and one brand that is recognizable to consumers. A good brand helps you understand the company's history, purpose, values, beliefs through all of these brand design elements. In this lesson, we'll take a look at the brand design process. This is my personal process, what you need to know before you start designing, before you get onto the drawing board, the development process, and the deliverables. We'll also take a look at some famous brand examples that made brand and identity design a key part of companies. Besides creating a distinct identity for a product or service, brand design can also encompass the entire image of a company or organization. The key advantage of brand design is that the branding, the design elements, the language helps you identify with your audience. So for instance, if you see a sign or a blog post, anything printed or on screen, it should be clear what company it belongs to. Let's take a quick look at what the branding process looks like. This is my personal process, and this way you'll know how to get started designing your own brand. Let's take a look at this brand presentation from one of my clients, and it includes a lot of the branding process. So the process started with an interview with a client of Four Bears Coffee Roasting. In this interview, I asked questions like what inspired the owner to start their own brand, their background, their life.
I don't see the setting you mentioned about notifications. I'll show you. So, one sec. So, can you see all of this? Yeah, let's make it smaller for a second. So if you go to create and upload video, I don't have anything to upload though. Well, let's just upload something and yeah, let's take a short or something. Oh, do they allow it on short? Yeah. So just uploading a short, right? And then it goes into here. So title, blah, 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 right? And then you expose here age restriction, you show more. And right here. So allow, you can't see, god damn it. Allow embedding and right under it, publish to subscriptions feed and notify subscribers. So if you uncheck that, what YouTube does is, at first, it starts very slowly. So don't panic immediately, panic only after 48 hours of doing this, right? If you uncheck this, YouTube basically not gonna send notifications to your subscribers and not gonna put it in their timelines as much. Although in my experience, my subscribers still find it. And the most important thing to do for this is also add a lot of hashtags. So they add a lot of like theist, atheist, all of those hashtags to your description. Basically, what I do is I write like a description, and then I go all the way down and add like as many as I can think of. I also add into the tags sometimes if I have the time, and this can be like really long questions. So because if somebody is looking for something, if somebody is looking to like refute a problem that you are addressing in your podcast, you should probably write down what questions somebody might ask and find your podcast for, you know what I mean? So like if it's about Genesis, for instance, right? So and you're talking about, I don't know, how God created Adam. So like add like into tags, both into tags and into hashtags. You can put like really long hashtags and it divides it into questions later. Just put stuff like Genesis 1, Genesis 2, whatever. How Adam came to be, how God created Adam, and all kinds of stuff that can be like relevant to the podcast. And then when you uncheck the YouTube, what it does, it first of all uses your transcription to understand whom it should push it out to, and the hashtags and the tags. I think it also uses the tags. Otherwise, why would that leave this function, stupid function? And here, standard YouTube. I don't know why it says not that. And yeah, and uncheck those. Maybe leave automatic concepts on. I don't know. I'm not sure. And it will take much longer to go up because it's looking for new audiences, right? And if those new audiences actually click the thumbnail and watch the video for X amount of time, then YouTube sent it to more of those people, right? Of that category of people. And sometimes it works, sometimes it's absolutely miserable. And you're like, oh my God, only 20 people watched my video. It's a guess, basically. Right. So, don't blame me when it fails. Or do. It's okay. Hold on. What's going on here? Okay.
Likes, dislikes.
Oh, what did Bianca say? Was about to say it's cut off. That's fine. Although if subscribers have checked the bell, then they still get the notification. YouTube doesn't override that. Maybe. I don't remember if you got I don't think you got the notification for my first video, Bianca. So maybe not. It shouldn't, frankly. It does eventually. It sends it out after the 48 hours. Then it sends it to your subscribers to watch. But if for the first 48 hours, it shouldn't. Unless the hashtags are like actually kind of align with what the subscribers watch anyways, maybe. I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure really how it works.
Likes and what type of personality they saw the brand as. So the target market, age, profiles of the type of people who would typically buy this coffee. It is important to know.
Yeah, maybe it was later. Maybe it was like 2 days after or 24 hours after I published it. It's like, oh my God, the video is not doing great. Let's send it to subscribers anyway. And it didn't do great. It did absolutely terribly. Like 3 weeks of work, at least, down the drain. Happens.
What questions to ask to look for inspiration that later can serve as.
Davey, let me know if it worked, if it did something. So, let's make it like an experiment together. I would love to learn from what happened to you.
To design the brand. This part of the process is really important because we have to ask many questions, as anything at this point can serve as inspiration. So for the second step, based on that interview, I built out a presentation with the direction we want to take the brand in, the essence of the brand, the audience, keywords that describe the brand, and what makes this brand different from the rest and from the competitors. Mood boarding is essential to communicate all these traits to the client. So this specific coffee brand also highlights lesser known coffee regions, especially female producers. So that's what the mood board was based on. So Pinterest here is a great resource for inspiration. As a fourth step, based on the unique traits of Fourbear's coffee roasting, I developed a color palette that was inspired by everything that was talked about with the client. from her personal story, her background, and brand traits. Alongside that, I provided classic and edgy color combinations that she can apply to the brand when it is delivered. From there, 2 concepts were developed and presented to the client. I suggest presenting between 1 and 2 concepts. That way, there's time to focus on the quality of the concepts, and if the right questions were asked on the initial interview, we then have a specific direction to run toward. Keep in mind that 2 different concepts mean 2 very different ideas, the way they look and the way they feel. So putting together a presentation that makes sense is essential. Explaining the concepts properly and with the right words is also important. Keeping in mind that most times our clients don't have the same design knowledge that we have. It is important to explain the concepts with depth, explaining design choices we have made, colors,
a creative use of we. I don't have the knowledge.
theory, so everything that entails that concept. And at this point, the client should provide feedback and choose only one concept to move forward with. As a next step, we take all of that feedback from the client to the chosen concept and finesse the design. Here you can also start creating collaterals or continue if you haven't. Test your design in print or digital to know if maybe the typeface is the right typeface, or the lines that you're using are too thin or too thick or need some kind of finessing. From there, create a final presentation for the client. And once the project is approved, it is time to create the brand guideline. So creating the brand guideline is useful so the client or business can apply your design in the future if you're not their in-house designer. In this case, I created a brand guideline so the client can apply the brand as she wants. The brand guidelines include specific values for the color palette, logo margins, how to use the different logos, and typographic rules. The next step is to export the deliverables agreed on. In my case, I delivered a design package that included the different logos in different file formats for web and print, different colors, as well as the graphic elements, the collateral designs ready for print, fonts, and any other extras. So my client has everything she needs. And this is useful for a smaller entrepreneur or solopreneur, so that way they can continue growing if they are at the beginning stages of their solopreneur or entrepreneur journey. So now let's take a look at some examples of successful, long-lasting brands. First, American Airlines from 1960.
Oh, Davey, I forgot to say, there was a rumor, I think, that you should limit yourself to like 30 hashtags. I don't think you should worry about that. I think you should put in as many as you want. But if you're worried, just the hashtags that you are thinking of and don't have and you limited yourself to 30, just put the rest in the tags, I think.
By famous Italian designer Massimo Vignelli. The American Airlines brand identity has been famous for the use of Haas Helvetica. The logo is also famous for being simple. It features the modern typeface and the words are said half in red.
It's a little newsy. I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's a little on the fash side.
And half in blue. The USA's national identity. So the whole brand system was focused on function and logic over trends or emotion. There was a lot of controversy when designers redesigned this original and unique brand. And the second example is the Olympic Summer Games from Munich from 1972 by Otto Eicher. The Munich 1972 brand is known amongst designers as a strong, comprehensive visual identity that is to this day inspiring. The challenge then for this specific branding project was to rebrand the image Germany had post-World War II and modernize it. Otto Eicher created a fabulous design, iconic, bold, and dramatic, without losing the German design ethos of precision. The emblem represents a crown of rays of light. The identity included strong, playful colors and flawless pictograms. The design team went as far as designing the mascot and pictograms that successfully fit the whole branding system. A beautifully structured pictogram system that looks fresh even today, very simplistic and extremely timeless.
This whole identity system is a great example of not only redefining a country, but also inspiring a whole generation of designers. So in this chapter, you'll learn the difference between design disciplines that exist today. You learned the new definition of digital product design and the brand design process. In the next chapter, we will take a look at different design tools to use and design assets that can help us speed up our work. So designers have different ways of working through a design project. But while these processes can be different, successful designers follow at least something similar. A solid design process can help designers deliver quality work, get the job done through organized tasks, and in an efficient manner. Not only that, there are plenty of tools that can help us design better and efficiently. So in this chapter, we will take a look at some useful tools that can help you improve your projects at every stage of the design process. We will cover tools for easier workflow, mood boarding, color palette development, and we will take a look at design assets and their benefits. But first, let's take a look at the different design disciplines and how these overlap with each other. So first, let's talk about the different design disciplines. Graphic design per se is the creation of visual compositions to solve problems and communicate ideas through design elements like typography, imagery, color, and form. There is no one recipe to do that. That's why there are several disciplines. So we can talk about marketing or advertising, packaging, and visual identity or branding. Designers make sure we're hitting those points through the successful use of graphic design elements, making sure that a brand looks cohesive not only in packaging but also in communication and graphic language. Game design, motion graphics, or animation can rely on someone who has experience in illustration. UI and UX are two disciplines that blur their lines also, as well as web design. It is not only concerned with the visual but also how people interact with digital product designs. Art directors are the designers responsible for coordinating and supervising the work of designers or other creatives who are involved in a single project. So for instance, if we're talking about a magazine design, here we have photographers, editors, sometimes illustrators, and the designer who will be putting everything together. The creative director's role is usually a
There really should be a new they'll make no money. A thumbnailer should be a new discipline. But most of us are fucking broke. Most of people on YouTube.
above the art director, and they take care of all the creative operations and tends to pitch creative concepts, usually having direct communication with clients. And as you can see, there are many different disciplines, and most designers specialize in more than one because of the rapid advancements in technology. While there are different disciplines, many of these jobs have a similar workflow. So generally, we start with a design brief from the client or art creative director that contains the details, purpose, and goals of the project. Next up, we have the brainstorming phase, where we collect everything from the research and we aim to solve the problem from as many angles as possible. So by the end of this brainstorming phase, designers should have multiple solutions and concepts, and ideally narrow down the solutions to a max of 3 concepts, ideally 2, and even better if it's just 1. Next, it is time to get your hands dirty, so to speak, and prepare rough sketches or layouts to present to the client or the team. The roughness of the sketches is for you to decide and also depends on the time that you have for the project. The concept presentation to the client should be concise and to the point. Remember that often clients aren't designers, so it is important to explain every concept in detail and why we have made certain decisions. Clients will provide feedback. Ideally, this feedback will include more than I like or I don't like, and it will be
Yeah. Brainstorming is something I always had serious trouble with. I'm just not good at. I either have an idea or I don't, frankly.
Be more concept driven. The next step is to incorporate the feedback from the client to the design. polish the details and present the final product, deliver the necessary digital files. If it needs to be sent to press, then you will need a PDF, or you will need to push live if it is a website, or sometimes both. Now let's take a look at some of the different software that designers use. In the past, poster designs were drawn by hand and hand-painted, sometimes with multiple ink passes to achieve multicolor posters with processes like lithography or chromolithography. Now design is available to the masses from the simple swipe and tap of your screen. Professional paid software like the Adobe Suite contain many software
Well paid.
for many of the design disciplines mentioned before. Adobe InDesign is great for publishing magazines, book designs, multi-page documents. Photoshop is good for digital painting and photography work. Lightroom is for more specialized photography work, while Illustrator is great for vector-based designs, illustrations, logo designs. Premiere Pro for videos, After Effects for motion graphics, and the Adobe Suite has become the industry standard these days. Figma is a great collaborative web application for UX and wireframes or interface design. Note that you can't build apps or websites here, you can only create the prototypes. Figma lets you collaborate on libraries and templates to share with your team. Another partially free web app is Canva. This user-friendly app has been very popular amongst non-designers the last few years. You can create marketing designs like posters, ads, videos, and social media graphics. Figma and Canva start with a free plan building up to other subscription models. If you're looking for Adobe Illustrator alternatives, there are plenty. Affinity Designer has a one-off cost rather than monthly subscription. Other apps like Sketch, CorelDRAW are also one-off prices, and Inkscape is a great free option.
And Photopea. Photopea is basically Photoshop. Let me put a link in the chat. And it's free, although I probably should pay them. I probably should buy. Probably should buy it, is what I'm saying. They've been so instrumental since I lost the ability to. Anyways, yeah.
As for InDesign, other desktop publishing app that has been used more and more these days is Affinity Publisher. It has a one-off fee. Their latest release is pretty close to what Adobe InDesign has to offer, and you can even import InDesign files to work there. UI and UX
Are animated thumbnails a thing yet? No, but they did it for like... I distinctly remember that you could put like a video as a thumbnail for a little while in YouTube, maybe like 3 years ago. You could put like a short video and it would play when you open. I don't remember, I only saw it in action once, but they deleted the option, which is a shame. You can technically upload, I think, GIF as a thumbnail, maybe, but it doesn't animate. Haven't seen one yet, but when I mouse hover thumbnails in YouTube recommendations, I see like a 3-second video loop. Yeah. So I think that's what they replaced. They just replaced the video thumbnail with a hook, basically.
designers also use some of these tools mentioned like Figma, Adobe XD, Webflow, and Sketch. And if you're interested in typeface design, FontLab is a professional software that has been the industry standard for many years. FontForge is a great free option here. When it comes to organizing projects, Trello is a great online tool that helps streamline creative processes and create a fluid collaboration between multiple designers or big teams. I personally also like to use Milanote. It is an awesome, easy to use tool to organize ideas and projects through visual boards. It is like Pinterest for designers. And that's it. In this lesson, you learned everything concerning design disciplines, the design processes, and different software to use. Next, we will take a look at the use of design assets, and how to come up with color palettes. Design assets have become essential for the busy designer in tight budgets. Not every client can afford photography or professional licensing for typefaces, so these assets are important to achieve a high-quality design. Let's start with font assets. There are plenty of free options to download fonts like DaFont and Google Fonts. DaFont has a great library with plenty of fonts that suit a big range of projects. Google Fonts offer amazing quality fonts for free with a wide range of open source fonts in different languages. On their website, you can also try different font combinations before you download them to see if they work for your design project. Finding color combinations can also be time consuming, and there are awesome tools that can help with that process and get it shortened.
Yeah.
Coolors is a great tool to help you get started with a color palette. You can pick, get inspiration, generate random palettes, and even go as far as checking contrast and create gradients. Another great tool is Happy Hues. If you like a color palette but you don't know how to apply it, this site can give you inspiration and examples as to how and where you could use the color palettes. Many designers turn to design assets from websites like Envato Elements. Explore the fonts library and find anything from vintage fonts to futuristic fonts and even some of the best experimental fonts in the industry.
Yeah, Coolors is amazing, actually. I keep forgetting about it, but it exists. Yeah.
In the next lesson, we'll talk about how technology has impacted graphic design. Our main purpose as graphic designers is to communicate. Technology has made it easier to reach and spread information at a much faster rate. Due to the internet, brands have more exposure online, allowing them to have a direct relationship to consumers. Digital graphics quality improved greatly. What before would have been done with collage today can be created by painting in Adobe Photoshop or feeding words to an AI. Nowadays, we can take amazing photographs not only with cameras but also with our phones. Connectivity has made it interesting for many designers to work remotely. Adobe has made it easy for freelance designers to work anywhere in the world while still collaborating on design files without being in-house. When it comes to fonts, in the past we needed multiple design files or multiple font files. Now we have variable fonts. This is the latest digital type edition, where one font file contains multiple typographic styles that vary in weight, width, style, and size. And last, technology has made the field of graphic design expand by organically creating overlapping disciplines. UI and UX wouldn't have happened without the internet revolution. The traditional graphic designer was known for creating packaging or ads for marketing. It now has evolved into a wide range of disciplines, all which have communication and technology as the common denominator.
The stock photos, the stock videos that they used, it's like I'm thinking that the people are just standing around going, oh yeah. They're just talking gibberish, aren't they? They're not saying anything. It's so funny. It was especially funny here.
Designer was known for creating packaging
She's pointing
or
at nowhere.
ads for marketing. It now has evolved into a wide range of disciplines, all which have communication and technology as the common denominator. Graphic design is an essential tool for business growth, and it will continue to evolve as a result of advances in technology and online mediums. I think it is important to emphasize here that graphic design has a purpose. Every design problem has a brief to work off from and a problem to solve, and that's what makes graphic design graphic design. In the next chapter, we will take an overlook at everything you learned in this course. Graphic design is the creation of visual content with a communication purpose. You learned about the different visual elements that are involved in creating a design piece. We looked at the basic principles of design, so you can organize elements on a page, color theory and its concepts, and an overview of typography history and its classification.
So the thing is, I can kind of learn all this stuff, right? If I watch it 3 or 4 more times, it will etch into my fucking face. I don't think this would make me better at graphic design in any kind of way. Because here's my problem, right? So I wrote a video script. And the video script has like 5,000-6,000 words, right? It's a long thing, right? How do I put that in one visual? In a way that like communicates to a person, click me, this is gonna be interesting for you, right? I don't know. How does one start? How does one define this problem that needs to be solved and then reaches a solution? I found that after I took shrooms, colored made far more sense to me. I'm not condoning taking mushrooms, though. Are you not? I'm just saying, that's all. Some people are amazing at finding unique and striking colors. Yeah. I'm not one of those people.
We also looked at the different design.
I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting somebody to give me, I don't know, go through the process with me, I guess, of how one figures this out, how one makes a good, well-communicating thumbnail. I don't know.
Disciplines that exist presently and the more traditional ones. You also saw examples of the different design choices you can make based on the discipline. To make your design process easier, we show you tools that can help you have a seamless workflow. We also show you everything from
Well, that's the thing, the showing the design tools, the practical tools. But how do you reach a state of concept? That's what I'm lacking, I think. Mostly. I'm lacking the other stuff as well, but that's what I'm lacking the most.
From a subscription software, alternatives, mood boarding, and websites to help you with color palette development. Last, we took a look at how technology has evolved and affected our industry. While technology development has moved quickly, we must remind ourselves the core job of a graphic designer. It all lies in the balance between making something look visually stunning while organizing complex information that's being delivered in a comprehensible way. At the end of the day, communicating with clarity is priority. My name is Laura Kyung from all of us at Enviro Tuts Plus. We hope you enjoyed this course and we'll see you in the next one.
It was good. It was good. We're pros now. I definitely need to rewatch it. Like all the first part, the first half an hour was really, really good. I think there is a lot to learn there. I'm looking for a way to solve the problem that I'm just not good at conceptualizing graphic design. I don't know. That's the part that I'm really, really need. The rest, like the practical stuff, can be solved, I think, with this video. But that's the one part that I just don't know how to do. Basically, your thumbnails are examples of what not to do. That's great, but like if I keep doing them, I'll just add more examples of what not to do. So thank you. That's not helpful. I just need to know. Just smoke a lot of cannabis. No thanks. And stare at graffiti. I wouldn't say that graffiti is the most communicable thing. I wouldn't use graffiti as a thumbnail at all, I think. It's very hard to read the graffiti font. So yeah, I'm a little wiser, but I don't know. The colors are pretty good. Yeah. Again, the how, like the technical how, is something you can learn, I think. But my problem is I can't reach a concept. So I don't know what to do there. And I don't know how to solve it. Yeah. So this didn't help. Davey, do you have a solution for me? Damn it. Colors of phone being the most important of it. Yeah. This video was definitely interesting, definitely good for some stuff. They have a playlist, graphic design basics. Maybe there's something there. Maybe, well, let's check it out.
To create
It's playing immediately. The principles of design. So, graphic design basics, the principles of design. So maybe it's here. There are another huge amount of small videos. All right. Maybe I'll check the rest of it out as well. Was interesting. All right, good. I'm not sure what you mean about concept. Most of your videos have a strong idea to get across. Yes, but then how do I go from that, which I can put in 5,000 words relatively well, I think, maybe not. How do I put it in a visual thing? It is, you can't just choose one word and put it on, like, you know, like, yeah, I made a video about deanimalization and I can put it in like 10 words. I can explain the entire video in like 10 words. I can change video. I can put it in 10 words. But then how do I go from that to it being communicated through graphics is the thing that I'm a dummy at. Absolute dumbass. I remember back in the day before the Militant Vegan was famous, I was in the same Discord as her and she always showed us her thumbnails and asked what's better, etc. That's a good idea. I think I showed you one of the thumbnails as well, Bianca. It didn't work. The thumbnail didn't work. The video wasn't seen almost at all. But to reach that point, there is some work to be done, and that's the work that I don't know how to do well. You know, if I had the options, I could create 3 options. Of what, though? That's the problem. That's the issue. But maybe if I watch enough of those videos, it will become clear to me. That's the hope, I guess. Let's see, somebody sent me something. Felix sent me something. Oh. Felix is so cute. All right. Guys, well, we learned some stuff. I'm gonna continue with this journey. Put one in the chat if you want to watch this video with me. But it's been hours that I've been live, so maybe not. Probably a good idea to stop. Oluwale is spamming. Actually, you want to continue? Shit. Why did I ask? What's that, Bianca? Next week. Am I too tired? Yes. But I'm probably gonna watch it anyways. So are you gonna stick around? Are they gonna take the live stream off this video next week? Yeah, maybe. It's only 21 minutes. It's a tiny one. Let's watch one more.
Successful design pieces, we need to understand the rules that make it work. The principles of design are a set of rules that designers use in order to create visually.
I think it's the same stuff repackaged. So that's good. I think if you listen to something, like that's how I learn. I have to listen to something 4 or 5 times. We're going in. Yeah.
Pleasing work in an organized and functional way. Hi, my name is Laura Keong and I am a graphic designer with over 15 years of experience. In this course, we will talk about the principles of design and I will show you real-life examples and templates from Envato Elements so you can understand all about...
First I have to publish another a post on my Harmsteader. Because if I don't publish it today, I'm gonna be taxed and Instagram will show it to even less people. Because Instagram fucking sucks. So give me a second. That's how it starts. A few weeks ago, I butchered my first quail. 3 young grouse. One I was very attached to. It's just small homesteader tears about killing animals. It's so hard for them. It must be so fucking hard for them to kill animals. Oh, hold on. It's just painful experience for them, and yeah, just hurts. Really hurts. Poor people. If only there was another way. If only there was another way. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry, every fucking single time. It just ruins my life. Fucking homesteaders.
These principles. Envato Elements is a great resource for high-quality templates, photographs, fonts, and much more. Every design piece has a structure below the surface that make it work to look balanced and visually pleasing. So once you understand how these principles work, you can then break the rules. So let's get started with the first principle, balance. Balance creates stability in a design piece. So every element on a page carries a visual weight, and that can be through different scales, shapes, colors, and even textures. A lack of balance in a design piece can make a poster or on a page look like it's falling toward one side. So balance would be something that feels grounded. Let's take a look at some examples. On this cover design for a book, we can see that there is symmetrical balance. So if you were to draw a vertical line through the cover, we can see that there is an equal amount of elements on the left side and the right side. And the colors are the same. So this is a very basic definition of what balance is. The way this book cover achieves movement is by multiplying the title of the book and making it different scales, right? So we can see that there is depth to it. On this second example from Envato Elements, we have a flyer. And again, if we were to draw a vertical line through the center of the flyer, the pineapple is slightly off center. And to counteract that, we have the title of the flyer, Summer Party, on the left side with bigger typeface. So this helps counteract that weight and balance the poster beautifully. A lack of balance, like again, it will make the poster feel like it's falling toward one side. So it is very important to check for that. The next principle of design.
I never ever looked at the picture and said, "Why is it falling on one side?" It's falling. So I don't know what even she says. Create triangles, yeah.
Is unity. Unity is the harmony produced by all of the elements in a design piece and how these elements create a relationship as organically as possible. Let's take a look at some examples. This first poster for the Whitney Design Museum is loud, but it is still organized, and that is the challenge with unity. Museum
Designers are so good that they make sure everything makes sense to us, probably, yeah. So you're saying I had never seen it because it would be a bad design.
design pieces tend to be a little bit more creative. So we can see here that there is a relationship between the pictures being very creative and also the way the typography is set. We have big numbers and the months are rotated vertically, so that makes it already look different. The way the captions are next to each of the pictures and then the relationship all of these have and create with the big numbers is just very natural, and that is what you want with this design principle. On the next example, we have an Envato Element flyer for back to school, and the way
Hold on. All right.
that this flyer is incorporating Unity is by having a very specific color palette, and also the elements on the illustrations that are being used. They're all related. The illustrations have the same style, so the basketball is not different from the airplane, let's say. And this just works beautifully and very natural. A lack of unity can make a design feel disorganized and cluttered. So it is very important that unity can point the viewer to the right information. The next principle of design is contrast. Contrast refers to the level of difference between design elements to create visual hierarchies. So this can help the viewer go to certain elements because they stand out more. And you can do so through the use of different colors, shapes, and textures. Let's take a look at some of the examples. On this first poster, contrast is used with two different colors, so the yellow and the purple. This really makes the whole poster stand out a lot. And then if we examine a little bit further, we can notice that there are two different typefaces, if not three, because of the language difference. There is a sans serif and a slab serif font. So these also create
I would say this is not readable. Like, you have to guess what it says there.
contrast. And then we can see contrast in shape, where it says Taiwanese waves. That is a circle or a circular shape, and so are the waves, right? And then we have the typefaces or the text boxes that are just blocks, so that creates also contrast in shapes. On our next example from Envato Elements, we have a magazine template, and there are multiple typographic elements using contrast here. It is important to create hierarchy, especially in magazine design, because the readers need to know what elements are more important than others and which ones should be read first. So on this cover, the company profile text is bigger and also in all caps, and that hints that this is the title of the publication, and then the rest of the text is just supporting. So contrast can...
Guys, let's continue next week. I'm changing my mind. I'm getting tired of the lights in my eyes, and getting tired altogether. So thank you for sticking around with me. I appreciate it very much. I hope you learned something. Big Stream learned something. And yeah, if you have, you know what? I'm gonna give you homework. So my last video, or my last scripted video, was about empathy. Not really. It's not the main. I mean, it's the main feature, but the end of it is empathy should be rejected and compassion should be adopted, right? As I showed before, this is the thumbnail I made for it. If you have an idea on how to create a thumbnail for that video, please, I don't know, DM me if you can. I guess maybe I should drop the link to that video, because truly not many people watched it. 1 second, let me find it, god damn it. Catchable link. Let's see if we have like geniuses, graphical geniuses in my audience who can help me out with this. Did I have 2 thumbnails for this? Yes, the second thumbnail just kind of sucked. It was, which one was it in the end? I don't remember which one it was. I think something like that. But yeah, that was just a desperation in the end, because the video really wasn't working. Anyways, send me a message if you have a light bulb moment about what thumbnail would have worked for that video. All right, and I might, I don't know, try to push that video again, because it was a good video, god damn it. It was a really good video. And yeah. All right, thanks for joining me. See you next time.